I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Flagler County Sheriff's deputies trained for a mass shooting. The scenario inside the Community Baptist Church in Bunnell involved one deputy being first on scene to find a single shooter before tending to victims. During the active shooter training, actors are screaming and pleading for help as the sound of gunshots fill the air. Staley says this was the most realistic training sheriff's deputies and school resource officers have undergone yet, and while he prays they'll never have to use their training, they'll be prepared. New in school this year, a bomb-sniffing dog. Canine Jax will be stationed at Flagler Palm Coast High School with Deputy Jason Williams, marking the first time a canine has had a permanent assignment at a school. Jax will also be available for calls at other county schools and elsewhere in the community. This school year, the number of school resource officers has more than doubled, with each of the district schools having one deputy. The move comes after passage of legislation last year in the wake of a mass shooting at a school in Parkland, Florida, where 17 students were killed.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
As students head back to school, deputies are reminding you to be aware on the roadways. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
Flagler County Public Schools opened yesterday, and school zones will be in effect with more pedestrians on residential roads near bus stops. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office will have increased patrols in those school zones and bus stops throughout the county now through August 23rd to help get the school year off to a safe start. With us this morning, we have Brittany Kershaw, Public Affairs Manager for the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, to remind everyone to
drive safely, slow down. There's going to be kids walking down streets, going to bus stops, riding their bicycles to the bus stops.
The increased law enforcement presence will serve as a reminder to the community that school is starting and drivers need to be aware and to
drive free from distractions, no texting and driving. It is now a primary offense to text or even hold your phone while driving through a school zone.
We want to start the school year off on the right foot, and that means everyone should be driving free from distractions and staying alert, said Sheriff Rick Staley. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
What would Palm Coast Town Center look like as the city grows?
Melissa Holland calls it a blank slate.
We do have a blank slate in some of our areas, meaning our downtown, our town center, the heart of our city, one where community comes to spend some time. So we are putting a lot of energy and effort and dialogue into what that would look like, how we grow.
Holland said the city takes advantage of its place on the map close to Jacksonville and Orlando. She points out that Palm Coast is affordable for residents and visitors. You can hear the entire interview on the Free for All Friday podcast. You can find that on the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. Tomorrow, how Palm Coast population affects its shopping. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Two local officials are being honored for their leadership in animal welfare. John Arking has the story.
The Flagler Humane Society hosted a town hall event Friday to recognize Palm Coast Republican State Representative Paul Renner and Flagler County Attorney Al Hadid. Humane Society officials say Renner was key to legislation that passed this year to ensure that veterinarians can report evidence of animal cruelty to law enforcement. He was also recognized with the ASPCA's Legislative Voice for Animals Award. Hadid was honored for his longtime representation of animal control officers for their work rescuing animals from abuse. The event also recognized other local lawmakers in attendance for strengthening the county's animal protection ordinances. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.